Biography in Frida Kahlo. Mexican and American culture icon. Frida Kahlo is a woman who takes part in the history of Mexico. She is an important participant of the time of Mexican moralist, and also in political movements like the communist ideals with Trotsky, one of the most representative icons of communism. Frida's life was based on love stories, art, and political movements. A woman based in courage and brave who supported the pain. These attributions makes her important in the art and Mexican culture. Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo y Calderón was born in July 6, 1997, Coyoacán, Mexico. It was a difficult time for Mexico. 3 years later, the Mexican Revolution will start. She contracted polio during her childhood. This illness deformed her right foot. Frida entered to the National Preparatory for a Pre-Medical Program in 1920, where Diego Rivera was painting a mural, La Creación. She got interest in his work. In September 17, 1925, she had an accident. The bus where she was crashed with another. She spent a month in the hospital. In 1928, Frida joined the Communist Party of Mexico. She found Diego Rivera again. He was a member of the party. It was impressive that they shared a passion for art and political ideals. Diego Rivera portrays her in Balada de la Revolución. They fall in love and married in August 21, 1929. In 1938, during October to November, Frida mounted her first exhibition at the Julian Levy Gallery in New York. During that time, she begins an affair with the photographer Nicolas Murray. 1 year later, she traveled to Paris in March for her second exhibition in the Gallery Renov in Calais. At her return to Mexico, she got divorced of Diego, but 1 year later, they got married again. They moved to Coyoacán in the famous Blue House. Nowadays, it is a museum. In 1943, she got a job as a teacher in the School of Art La Esmeralda, but her physical condition forced her to teach in her house. 3 years later, she had won the National Painting Prize by the Ministry of Culture for her painting Moisés. In 1948, she took part again in the Communist Party of Mexico, PZM. The next 3 years would be difficult for her. She was during 9 months in the hospital after 7 operations. In 1953, Lola Álvarez Bravo organized in her gallery the first individual art exhibition of Frida Kahlo in Mexico. Frida assisted at the inauguration on a stretcher. 1 year later, Frida contracted a lung infection. Against the opinion of her doctors, she participated in a demonstration against USA intervention in Guatemala. She died in July 30, 1954. 4 years later, the museum Frida Kahlo was inaugurated at the request of Diego Rivera. Frida Kahlo was involved in artistic movements, love histories, and politics. She is an icon of Mexican and also American artistic culture. She was a woman who suffered the real pain, like polio, fractures, abortations, operations, and amputation of a leg. She was an important part of Mexican history. In the communists, supporting the ideas of Trotsky, she was a woman with intense love relationships, like Diego Rivera, Leon Trotsky, male and female characters. Nowadays, Frida Kahlo is one of the most sought Latin American painters.